श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री दत्त गुरुवे नमः। श्री श्रीपाद वल्लभाय नमः। श्री 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 विठलानंद सरस्वती गुरुवे नमः। चैप्टर 2 श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सिद्ध मुनि guides Namadharak. Namadharak was greatly amazed to see the dream. He awoke and began to proceed further on his path. While going, he was all the time thinking over the dream he had seen in the previous night. He now observed that similar personality, like that seen by him in the dream, was coming from the front. He prostrated himself, humility before him, and said, "You are my mother and father. Kindly favor me, an orphan child. Kindly tell me your name and place of residence." The Siddha Muni said, "I am a yogi. I live on earth and in heaven also. I have been visiting holy places and now I have come here. I am a disciple of Sri Guru Narasimha Saraswati, who resides at Gangapur near Sangam, the meeting place of the Bhima and Amraja rivers. He is in the incarnation of Trimurtis and always found in meditation. He has come to this earth for the salvation of his devotees. His devotees get food, cows and other wealth in abundance." Hearing this, Namadharak asked him, "Though my forefathers have been devotees of Sri Guru for generations, why should be in such adverse conditions? Will you kindly satisfy me in this respect?" Sri Siddha said, "You say that you worship Sri Guru and yet complain adversities. Then it seems that you are not worship Sri Guru wholeheartedly. Even if Sri Vishnu or Sri Shiva is angry with his devotee, Sri Guru can surely protect him. But if Sri Guru is enraged, even Sri Vishnu or Shiva cannot protect him." Namadharak said, "Kindly tell me why Sri Guru is said to be the incarnation of Trimurtis, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. How is it that if Sri Guru is enraged, none else can protect? Where can I find this reference? Kindly explain all this to me, so that my mind would become more firm in devotion." Sri Siddha said, "4 Vedas came out as utterances of 4-headed Brahma. From the Vedas, 18 Puranas were constituted. Brahma Vaivarta is one of these, and it is stated in it that in the Dwapara Yuga, Vyasa, the Vishnu incarnate, spread the light of knowledge on earth through such volumes known as Brahma Sutras. Rishis and Munis listened to the tales from Vyasa, which I am narrating to you. Once upon a time, Kali Yuga asked Brahma about the greatness of Sri Guru. Namadarak intervened and asking, why did Brahma narrate the Kali? Sri Siddha proceeds saying, in the start of evolution, Adinarayan, Sri Vishnu was laying on a leaf of what he desired, and lotus came out of his umbilicus. On it was seated Brahma, who looked to the four directions, and he got four heads. He thought that he was all supreme. Realizing this, Sri Vishnu smiled and said, Aha, I am here. Bow to me. Brahma bowed to him and praised him. Being pleased, Sri Vishnu asked Brahma to create this universe. Sri Vishnu gave him 4 Vedas and also told him to create this world according to the process given in the Vedas. Brahma then created this world, which has several animate and inanimate things such as Svedaj, those born of perspiration as bugs, etc. Andaj, those coming out of eggs as birds. Jaraj, those begetting from placenta, that is womb, as human beings. And Udbij, that is coming out of earth, that is plants, creepers, trees, etc. Similarly, Brahma created 3 lokas, worlds. This process of creation has been stated in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana in the following manner. Brahma called every yuga one after the other and asked him to go on earth. First came Krita Yuga, who did not speak a lie, was learned and devoid of family attachments, had sacred thread and necklace of Rudraksha beads around the neck. He said, the people of earth speak a lie and are sinful. How can I go and stay there? Brahma said, stay there for some time. I shall be sending another yuga to follow you. Then came Treta Yuga. Fat in body, possessed articles of sacrifice in his hands. In this yuga, people performed sacrifices and abode by the rules of religions and rituals, and most of them were Brahmins. After the Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga is approached Brahma. He had arrows and other weapons in his hands. He was both kind and wicked. Virtue and sin were both visible in him. Lastly, Kali Yuga was called for ghost-like appearance, thoughtless heart, old age, struggling and despising mentality were his characteristics. He came before Brahma and began dancing and uttering childish words. At one moment he laughed, at another he welted and then abused anybody. Seeing him in such strange mood, Brahma asked, why are you naked and abusing so? Fifthly, Kali replied, I shall win over people by these two means. I am not afraid of anybody. Brahma smiled and told him to go the earth and show the influence of his evil intentions. Kali said, I selfish destroyer of dharma, I like quarrel, despising, and I long for the wealth and wives of others. I am a friend to those who pretend to be a saint, and I am an enemy of all the virtues. Brahma told him, in Kali Yuga, the span of life of the human beings would be only 100 years. In the former yugas, as the lifespan was too long, people followed the path of penance and devotion in order to attain supreme knowledge. In Kali Yuga, a man can attain salvation, the observing penance and devotion for less time. You should help such virtuous persons. Kali said, such virtuous men are my enemies. I am afraid of such persons. How should I then go to the earth? Brahma said, take Kal and Atma with you. They will destroy the religious mindedness and even induce virtuous persons to commit sins. Kali said, they are enemies who abide by the religion and are devotees of Vishnu and Shiva, who listen to Puranas, give charities, and who have peaceful hearts. But on the contrary, I love those who love their wives and children, dishonor their parents, who despise Vedas and Shastras, who see separatedness in Vishnu and Shiva and despise them. Brahma said, you are clever. People will follow you and act as per your wishes as soon as you go there. If a few persons are virtuous, you do not trouble them. Kali said, I am cruel. Please tell me how I should help the virtuous. Please direct me as to how I should behave on the earth. Brahma said, I am sending Kal and Atma also with you, who will direct you. The virtuous only can will you. All others will soon be your slaves. Kali said, how is a sadhu saint to be known? Brahma said, please do not harass the learned and those who worship Hari, Hara, who serve parents, gods and Brahmins, cows and plants as Tulasi. You need not affect those. Kali again asked, what is the importance of a guru? How he is to be known? Brahma said, alphabet Gu means Siddha and R and U imply Sri Ganesh, who is Guru. Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, parents are all gurus of this earth. Knowledge imbibed with devotion and rational thinking, Viveka, is seen in the heart of the Guru. Study of Dharma and Shastras without Guru is futile. He directs in action, thought, devotion and disintegration. One cannot surpass worldly miseries without the help and guidance of Guru. He throws a flashlight on the dark illusionary path. Service to the Guru makes one pure in body, speech and thinking. I shall just tell a tale as an example. Om Siddhakriya Babaji Namaha Om Siddhakriya Babaji Namaha On the bank of Godavari, there was the ashram of Angiras Rishi. Many disciples were being trained in this ashram. One disciple named Sandipak served his Guru Vedadharma with great devotion. Once Vedadharma Muni gathered his disciples together and said, "If you really love me, do as I bid you." All replied, "Gurudev, we shall act as per your command. For one who does not obey his Guru goes to hell and cannot get salvation." The Guru said, "I have committed sins in my previous births. The effect of many of them has been wiped off by my penance, but still some of them are persisting. I will not get salvation unless I suffer the evil effects of these sins with my body. I, therefore, wish to go to Kasi, stay there and get rid of these sins. You have to attend on me and serve me during the period. One who is strong enough should undertake this hard task." Sandipak accepted this bid. Vedadharma said, "It is better to get rid of the sins so long as one has sound health. Otherwise, they spread like poison. So I should go to a holy place and suffer the bad effects myself. Even gods have to suffer. Then how can a human being like myself avoid the same?" Sandipak said, "Kindly tell me what I should do. I shall spare no pains in serving you." Vedadharma said, "I shall become blind, lame and leper. You will have to serve me for 21 years in such condition. If you are resolute, then only you should accept this job." Sandipak said, "Gurudev, I resolve that I shall also be blind, lame and leper and serve you devotedly and see that you get rid of all the sins." Vedadharma was much pleased with his words. He further said, "One should suffer the evil effects of one's sins oneself and should not allow the sun or the people or anyone else to suffer for him. The sins will not be wiped off unless they are borne by one's own body. It is very taxing to serve a deceased person, so you will have to take troubles even more than myself. Please take me to Kasi and do serve me there." Sandipak assured his Guru, and soon he took him to Kasi. They lived there at Kambaleshwar to the north Manikarnika. The Muni took a bath in Manikarnika and worshipped Vishveshwar and began to suffer the pangs of diseases. As the time passed on, leprosy developed all over his body and he began to suffer the pangs of diseases. As the time passed on, leprosy developed all over his body and he became blind, losing his eyesight. His body was petrified and pus, blood and germs flowed out of it. He began to have fits also. Still, Sandipak took all pains to nurse his Guru with great devotion. He used to bring alms daily for his Guru, fed him and served him, thinking him to be Kashi Vishveshwar. Vedadharma, being in a diseased condition, became peevish by nature and often was enraged and spoke harsh words to his disciple Sandipak. Someday he would not take food, someday he would abuse him cruelly for bringing insufficient for undelicious alms. Someday he would throw away the food in anger and despair. Sometimes he would even beat him severely. Another time he would complain that he did not clean his body, wounds, clothes, smeared with stool and urine, and consequently he was much troubled by flies. When Sandipak was attending on him, he would say, "Why did he not go out for alms?" In this way, Sandipak was harassed every now and then. Yet, Sandipak tried his best to bring good delicious food and vegetables as directed by his Guru. Though he was living in Kasi, he never went to the Vishveshwar temple to worship and see the most holy shrine of Vishveshwar. Similarly, he did not think of any other thing, but he solely devoted himself to the nursing and giving best service to his Guru, whom he respected as God Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma. Though the Guru got enraged off and on, he did not retort harshly. Seeing his such devoted service to his Guru, Kasi Vishveshwar was so pleased that he appeared before him and told him to ask for some favor or blessing. Sandipak replied, "Without the approval of my Guru, I cannot ask for your blessings." He then came to his Guru and said, "Kashi Vishveshwar is pleased to offer me some blessing. If you permit me, I shall pray him to remove your physical pangs and give you sound health." Hearing this, Vedadharma was enraged. He said to Sandipak, "Do not pray Vishveshwar for my health. If I do not suffer these pangs, I will have to suffer in the next birth, and this would obstruct my path of salvation." Sandipak returned to Kasi Vishveshwar and told him, "My Guru does not like me to accept any blessings from you." Being amazed, Kasi Vishveshwar went to Sri Vishnu and reported this wonderful incident to him. Hearing this, Sri Vishnu and Sri Kasi Vishveshwar desires to see this disciple and his Guru, and so they both came to Kasi and approached Sandipak. Sri Vishnu said, O Sandipak, I am pleased with your devotion to your Guru. You may ask for whatever you desire. I shall fulfill your wishes. Sandipak said, O Narayan, even after undertaking penance in dense forest for infinite period, you disappoint your devotees. But when neither did I worship you nor recite your name, why should you be pleased with me and ask me to have a boon from you? Sri Vishnu said, whatever devoted service you have rendered to your Guru has been received by me. I love such disciples very much. I am under his influence and I willingly offer him my blessings. I like wife's devotion to her husband, bowing to Brahmins, ascetics and sannyasis, and such persons come to my place in the end. Sandipak said, O Mahavishnu, I have full faith that I shall attain all knowledge of Vedas and Shastras from my Guru. As Guru is my God, Trimurtis are within my reach. Whatever blessings you give me, I shall be getting the same easily from my Guru. I am therefore serving my Guru devotedly. On this, Sri Vishnu said pleasingly, Sandipak, you are the best amongst all the disciples. You are my loving child. Sri Shiva and myself are pleased with your devotion. Ask for a boon. Sandipak said, if you are so keen to favor me with your blessings, kindly give me such guidance as would enable me to serve my Guru with still more devotion. Sri Vishnu said, Amen. We offer you what you desire. You have known Guru and also experienced Parabrahma in yourself. The word Guru contains only 2 alphabets. Still, it is the ocean of nectar. One who dips into it even for a moment will cross this worldly ocean. One who always remembers Guru is respected in all lokas. When Sandipak went to his Guru, the Guru asked him, what did Mahavishnu give you? Sandipak replied, I asked him to guide me to serve my Guru with more devotion, and he was pleased to give me this blessing. I wish I should serve you well and incessantly. Hearing this, Vedadharma too was extremely pleased. He said, you are the best of all the disciples. You should stay in Kasi. Whatever you say will be true. You will receive the wealth of Kubera, God of wealth. The miseries of those who remember you will come to an end. The same moment, the body of Vedadharma Muni became healthy and bright. He had suffered from leprosy and other pangs only for testing his disciple. In this way, Brahma told Kali this tale of Sandipak. O Namadarak, you should also worship Sri Guru with such devotion, and then only you shall easily pass over these worldly miseries. Control your sense, karma, jnana, and also heart, and other by you will win even the great God that is Parameshwar. Sri Dattaya Gurave Namaha, Sri Sripada Sri Vallabhaya Namaha, Sri Nrsimha Saraswatyai Namaha. Second chapter completed. Digambara, Digambara, Sripada Vallabha Digambara, 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 Avadhuta Chintana Digambara, 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 Sripada Vallabha Digambara, 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 Avadhuta Chintana Digambara. Sri Sri Gurubhyo Namaha, Sri Datta Gurave Namaha, Sri 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 Vitthalananda Gurave Namaha. Sri Guru Charitra Parayan, third chapter. Turvas curses King Ambarish. Namadharak Swamiji, you have removed my doubt by giving me the knowledge of the greatness of Sri Guru. I am much pleased at heart. Will you kindly inform me where you stay? What is your food? I wish to be in your service. Kindly accept me as your disciple. Sri Siddha embraced him with affection and blessing him said, you will see that miraculous incidents are occurring at the dwelling place of Sri Guru. Studying the life of Sri Guru is like draining nectar. I always read this life again and again. Saying this, he showed his sacred book titled Life of Sri Guru to Namadharak and further said, whatever pleasure or social status we desire, we shall get it soon by reading this. We shall not be affected by any disease incurred due to displeasure of the planets or other reasons. The sin of killing a Brahmin is also wiped off if this book is read with devotion and concentration of mind. Namadharak, O devotion of kindness, you appear to me be Sri Guru himself. I wish to know the life of Sri Guru. Will you please remove the darkness of my ignorance by the light of this life of Sri Guru, which is as bright as the sun? Sri Siddha assured him and holding his hand took him to a lovely place seated him under Ashwatha tree, which is like Kalpavruksha, that is, a tree fulfilling one's desires, and began to narrate him the nectar-like life of Sri Guru. He told him, "You do not know how to serve Sri Guru, and hence you have to suffer from anxieties, pains and miseries. You should therefore try to know Sri Guru by good actions and firm belief." Namadharak. My body is burning due to threefold fires in this earthly ocean. I am obsessed by sex, anger and temptation. So kindly take me in the boat of knowledge, steer it by the wind of kindness, and thus give salvation to me. Sri Siddha said, "You need not be anxious. You will surely be relieved of your miseries, engrossed in illusion and temptation. Those who doubt the great power of Sri Guru, they have always to suffer from poverty and hardship." Om Siddha Kriya Babaji Namaha. Om Siddha Kriya Babaji Namaha. So give up suspicion. Sri Guru is an ocean of kindness. He will give you everything. Just as clouds give rain everywhere, similarly Sri Guru gives showers of kindness. As water is stored in the deep portion of earth and on the rocky place, so an individual attains Sri Guru's favor. Therefore, worship Sri Guru wholeheartedly. Namadharak. My mind is clear now, and I am anxious to listen to the life story of Sri Guru. Kindly tell me why Sri Guru took birth in Bharat. Sri Siddha. Oh, my good disciple, you have given inspiration to me. Sri Guru's life is like Kamadhenu. You will get all the four valors of favors, namely religion, wealth, pleasure and salvation. Sri Hari and Sri Hara have to come this earth in the form of different species at different times for the benefits of their devotees. Trimurtis have three different characteristics: Brahma's Rajas, Vishnu's Sattva and Shiva's Tamoguna. But these do not exist separately. In former times, there lived a king by name Ambarish. He observed Ekadasi fast, that is 11th day of every fortnight, dark and bright. He induced Sri Vishnu to come to earth. In order to test Ambarish's Ekadasi Vrat, Durvasa Rishi came to him as a guest. That day, Sadhan Dwadashi was only for 24 minutes after sunrise. Ambarish received the Rishi warmly, worshipped him and requested him to return soon for dinner, finishing his morning bath and rituals. Durvasa went to the river, took bath and started rituals. Seeing that the time for Dwadashi, 12th day of fortnight was finishing, and fearing the break of his vrat, Ambarish took holy water and dines. In the meanwhile, Durvasa returned, and seeing that Ambarish had dined before him, he was enraged, and so he cursed Ambarish. Ambarish prayed Sri Vishnu, protector of devotees. Sri Vishnu came from Vaikuntha, his abode. Ambarish told Sri Vishnu that Durvasa had for no reason cursed him to take birth in different species. Sri Vishnu told Durvasa that he had cursed Ambarish in vain and that he should curse him, Vishnu, instead of Ambarish. Durvasa thought that people on earth cannot see Sri Vishnu, so it would be better to ask Sri Vishnu to descend on earth with Sri Lakshmi for the salvation of the people. So he said to Sri Vishnu, "You should descend on the earth 10 times. Sri Dattaya Guruve Namaha, Sri Sripada Sri Vallabhaya Namaha, Sri Nrsimha Saraswati Namaha. Third chapter completed. Digambara, Digambara, Sripada Vallabha Digambara, 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 Avadhuta Chintana Digambara, 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 Sripada Vallabha Digambara, 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 Avadhuta Chintana Digambara. Sri Sachidananda Samartha Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Avadhuta Chintana Sri Gurudeva Datta.